Did you know a Roman court once put a statue on trial for murder? It sounds absurd, but it really happened. A statue that fell and killed a man was found guilty and executed by being thrown into the sea. This wasn't just a one-off oddity. It was a symptom of a much deeper problem. Roman law had become a tangled mess, with rules for everything, but so many that no one could keep track. Over centuries, laws piled up, some ancient, some brand new, contradicting each other and making justice slow and confusing. By the time Emperor Justinian I took the throne in the 6th century, the legal system was collapsing under its own weight. Justinian saw this chaos as both a crisis and an opportunity. He believed that a strong, unified empire needed a clear, unified legal code. The story of the statue's trial is a quirky example, but it points to a bigger truth. The Romans' obsession with law had become their weakness. Justinian wasn't just another emperor, he was a reformer determined to fix the legal chaos. He set out to create a new system that would outlast him and shape the world for centuries. This is the world Justinian inherited, a magnificent, messy legacy in desperate need of order, and his solution would become one of history's most influential legal projects. To understand Justinian's Code, you have to picture the world of the early 500s. The Western Roman Empire had collapsed, barbarian kingdoms ruled its former lands, and Rome itself had been sacked. But the Eastern Roman Empire, based in Constantinople, survived and thrived. Its emperors still dreamed of restoring Rome's lost glory. Justinian I, who became emperor in 527 AD, was driven by this dream. He knew that true restoration meant more than military conquest. It required rebuilding Roman institutions, faith, and above all, law. The legal chaos he inherited was a threat to his authority and the empire's future. By creating a single, clear code, Justinian aimed to unite his realm and declare himself the true heir of Rome. This wasn't just legal housekeeping, it was a bold political move, tying his rule to Rome's golden age. For Justinian, law was the foundation of empire, and reforming it was as important as any battlefield victory. His code would become the cornerstone of his grand plan to restore Roman greatness. Imagine a library with no order, books everywhere, many contradicting each other, and no way to find what you need. That was Roman law before Justinian. Laws came from the ancient 12 tables, the Senate, city officials, and most of all, centuries of imperial decrees, thousands of them. On top of that, legal scholars wrote massive commentaries, often disagreeing with each other. Lawyers could always find an expert to back up any argument, making court cases unpredictable and slow. Earlier emperors tried to fix this, like the law of citations, which limited which jurists' opinions could be used, but it was just a band-aid. The result? Legal confusion, endless delays, and plenty of room for corruption. Governors in distant provinces struggled to rule fairly, and justice was often out of reach for ordinary people. For Justinian, this chaos was unacceptable. He wanted to tear down the old, crumbling structure and build something strong and lasting. The legal mess wasn't just inconvenient, it threatened the very stability of the empire. Justinian's solution would be nothing less than a total overhaul. He would create a new legal foundation, clear and accessible to all. The age of legal confusion was about to end, and it all started with a bold vision for order. Justinian. I wasn't born into power. He rose from humble beginnings, thanks to his uncle's rise in the army. Ambitious and hard-working, Justinian dreamed of leaving a legacy that would last 1,000 years. He wanted to reclaim lost lands, build wonders like the Hagia Sophia, and crucially, reform the law. For this, he needed help, and found it in Tribonian, a brilliant legal mind. In 528 AD, Justinian put Tribonian in charge of a commission to sort through centuries of imperial decrees. In just over a year, they produced the Codex Justinianus, a single, organized book replacing thousands of old laws. But Justinian wasn't satisfied with just cleaning up imperial decrees. He wanted to tackle the even bigger mess, the writings of ancient jurists. His goal was a definitive, final statement of Roman law, so clear it wouldn't need endless interpretation. He even tried to ban future commentaries, showing just how ambitious he was. For Justinian, this was more than reform. It was a sacred duty, mirroring divine order and human law. His vision blended practical reform with grand religious and political ambition. That's what made his project so powerful and so enduring. Justinian's legal reform wasn't just one book. It was a four-part masterpiece called the Corpus Juris Civilis. First came the Codex, collecting all imperial laws, revised to include Justinian's own. Next was the Digest, or Pandex, a massive effort to distill the best ideas from thousands of legal writings into a clear, organized whole. The Digest preserved the intellectual heart of Roman law for future generations. The third part, the Institutes, was a textbook for new law students, teaching the basics in a logical, accessible way. Finally, the Novellae, or New Laws, collected Justinian's later decrees, many written in Greek to reflect the empire's changing language. Together, these four parts created a unified, adaptable legal system. The Corpus Juris Civilis was more than a code. It was a blueprint for justice and order. It set the standard for legal systems for centuries to come. And it all started with Justinian's determination to bring clarity to chaos. The Corpus Juris Civilis was revolutionary for its clarity and structure. It divided law into public and private, an idea still central to modern legal systems. By organizing the law this way, Justinian made it easier to understand and apply. The code set out clear rules for family, property, and contracts, areas that would shape European law for centuries. Roman jurists, whose work filled the Digest, were masters of commercial law, developing concepts like ownership, negligence, and valid contracts. These ideas are the backbone of modern business law. The Institutes opened with a powerful definition: justice is the constant will to give each his due. Justinian's code aimed for fairness, not just rules. Its principles still echo in the laws that govern our lives today. After Justinian's death, his code ruled the Byzantine Empire, but in Western Europe, it was mostly forgotten. That changed in the 11th century, when scholars in Italy rediscovered the Digest. At the University of Bologna, legal minds pored over the text, writing notes and adapting its principles. Students from across Europe came to study Roman law, then brought it home to shape their own country's legal systems. This reception of Roman law transformed Europe, merging Roman ideas with local customs. The revived code became the Jus Commune, the common law of continental Europe. Its logical structure was perfect for the growing world of trade and commerce. Justinian's Code, born in Constantinople, became the legal foundation for modern Europe. Its influence would soon spread even further. If you live in Europe, outside the UK, Latin America, or parts of Asia and Africa, your legal system is rooted in Justinian's Code. The Napoleonic Code, created in 1804, was directly inspired by the Corpus Juris Civilis. As Napoleon's armies spread across Europe, so did his code, and its Roman foundations. Other nations followed suit, creating their own codes based on Justinian's model. Even in common law countries like England and the US, Roman legal ideas seeped in, especially in contracts and inheritance. Today, the very idea of a logical written legal code is Justinian's legacy. The principles you learn in law school, public versus private law, contracts, negligence, trace back to his reforms. Justinian's dream of a lasting legal system became reality, shaping the rules for billions worldwide. From a statue's trial to the laws of modern nations, Justinian's Code is a story of ambition, chaos, and lasting order. His vision turned a mountain of confusion into a single, powerful legal tool, the Corpus Juris Civilis. Rediscovered centuries later, it sparked a legal renaissance that transformed Europe and the world. Its principles of logic and justice became the foundation for civil law systems everywhere. The decisions made in 6th century Constantinople still echo in our courts and laws today. Justinian's Code proves that great ideas can outlast empires. The past shapes our present in ways we rarely notice. For more stories from history's hidden corners, subscribe and join us on the next journey.